Man finds unopened box in attic. Then he realizes it's worth thousands. We might not always be aware of it, but the things we purchase today could be worth an exponentially greater amount in the future. If you don't believe us, just ask Scott Amos of Reno, Nevada. On December 8, 1988, the Amos family purchased the game Kid Icarus for the original Nintendo Entertainment System for their son Scott. The game had become a favorite of many, and it was based on actual history as the Cupid-like hero attempts to rescue a light goddess imprisoned by Medusa. Just looking for a few hours of entertainment, the family couldn't have predicted that their few dollar purchase was actually an investment with a large interest for the future. At a certain point in time, the game was all but forgotten. Life goes on and Scott grew up, started his own family, and packed up his childhood possessions. Of course, the past always has a way of popping back up at the least expected moments. Over 3 decades later, in 2019, Scott the family man was bored and went through his crowded attic to look for lost memories. He came across this old game and was shocked to find that it wasn't only still there, but was also in its original unopened packaging. No matter how hard he tried, Scott couldn't recall owning the game after so much time had passed, though he assumed that it was meant to be a Christmas present but had been forgotten. When the game was first purchased, it cost around $38.45, which at today's rate would mean about $80. But that all paled in comparison to what it was actually worth today, especially with proof of its authenticity in its JCPenney receipt from the day it was purchased. However, Scott didn't know about the hidden gem that he had uncovered and nearly forgot about it a second time as he placed it on the kitchen table. "I saw it was sealed, and I thought it was worth a couple $100s, Scott said. "I go to work the next day and emailed a couple of experts. One of them wrote me back within 30 minutes and said, 'You have an Easter egg.'" Scott soon found that the game wasn't just a dug-up relic of the past, but was worth a lot of money. To hardcore retro gamers, Scott's copy of the game wasn't only vintage, it was practically an antique of the past. Kid Icarus is one of the hardest NES titles to find in sealed condition, said Valerie McLecky, video game consignment director at Heritage Auctions. In other words, vintage finds like this are widely popular, and retro enthusiasts went into a frenzy when word of the unopened Kid Icarus got around. Even better, Scott sent it to Wada Games in Denver to get it appraised, and they gave it a high score of 8 out of 10. Additionally, he was told that there were fewer than 10 factory-sealed copies of Kid Icarus in the whole world, which meant that he was sitting on a gold mine. After all, the last copy like this was sold for $12,000. With fingers crossed, Heritage Auctions posted the game on eBay, and the bids came rolling in. The copy didn't end up surpassing the $12,000 mark, but it did land him with a cool $9,000. Not bad for a dusty attic find. Still, some questioned why he parted with the childhood treasure, and Scott simply shrugged. "I remember it being hard," he said, "and I was never that good of a gamer guy." So seeing how much he could possibly make, Scott decided that it would be better to make some cash rather than shoving the game back into the attic for another decade. Being the prudent family man that he is, Scott also didn't think that it was fair for him to keep all the earnings. After all, if his parents had remembered to give the gift, it would have surely been shared between Scott and his sister. So the siblings decided to split the earnings 50-50, which came out to $4,500 each. They could have spent their earnings on any item imaginable, but decided to honor the spirit of fun that Kid Icarus embodied. Instead of doing something responsible, "We're going to have some fun with it," Scott said. So his family decided to go to Disney World with the money, capping off the luckiest moment of their lives.